नमस्ते बिटिया हमेशा खुश रहो बिटिया In this series of lecture, today we are going to discuss with the tumors of the cervix. Myself, Dr. R.P., Associate Professor, Jyoti Vidyapeeth, Women's University, Department of Pathology. Today we will start our topic with the cervicitis. Cervicitis is divided into two parts. One is acute cervicitis and second is chronic one. In acute cervicitis, it is usually associated with the Epiurium and gonococcal infection. Other causes are primarily chancre and infection with the herpes simplex. The chronic non-specific cervicitis is encountered quite frequently and it is common because of leukorrhea. The most common organism responsible for chronic cervicitis are the normal mixed vaginal flora that include Streptococcus, Enterococci, Staphylococci. The factors predisposing to chronic cervicitis are sexual intercourse, trauma of childbirth, instrumentation, and excess and deficiency of the estrogen. What are the general examination? There is a eversion of ectocervix with hyperemia, edema, granular surface, Nabothian cyst may be grossly visible with the surface as clearly gray vesicles. In microscopic examination, the chronic cervicitis is characterized by extensive subepithelial inflammatory infiltrate of lymphocytes, plasma cell, large mononuclear cells, and few neutrophils. There may be formation of lymphoid follicle termed the follicular cervicitis. The surface epithelium may be normal and may show squamous metaplasia. The tumors of the cervix, both benign and malignant tumors, are common in cervix. In addition, cervix is a site of shades of gray lesions that include the cervical dysplasia and carcinoma in situ. Currently termed squamous intraepithelial lesion. SIN was currently termed as a SIL. In cervical polyps, these are the localized benign proliferation of endocervical mucosa. Though they may protrude through the external os, they are found in 2 to 5% of adult women and produce irregular vaginal spotting. In general examination, cervical polyp is a small, bright red, fragile growth which is frequently pedunculated but may be sessile. In microscopic examination, most cervical polyps are endocervical polyp and are covered within endocervical epithelium, which may show squamous metaplasia. Less frequently, the covering is by squamous epithelium of portio vaginalis. The stroma of polyp is composed of loose and edematous fibrous tissue with variable degree of inflammatory infiltrate. In microglandular hyperplasia, it is a benign condition of the cervix in which there is a closely packed proliferation of endocervical gland without intervening stroma. The condition is usually progesterone stimulation, such as during pregnancy, postpartum period, and in women taking oral contraceptives. In squamous intraepithelial lesion and cervical intraepithelial neoplasm, which is called SIN terminology, presently the term dysplasia, SIN carcinoma, and C2 and SIL are usually synonymously as follows. Dysplasia, the term dysplasia has been commonly used for atypical cytologic changes in the layers of squamous epithelium. The changes being progressive depending upon the thickness of the squamous epithelium evolved by atypical cell. Dysplasia is conventionally graded as mild, moderate, and severe. Carcinoma in situ is a full thickness involvement of atypical cell, or in other words, carcinoma confined to the layers above the basement membrane. What are the etiopathogenesis? The biology of SIN is relationship to invasive carcinoma of the cervix is well understood by epidemiological, virological, molecular, immunologic, and ultrastructural studies. Epidemiological studies based on epidemiology of large population of women with cervical cancer. The severe risk factors have been identified, which include the following four most important factors, like women having early age of sexual activity, women having multiple sexual partner, women with persistent HPV infection, and potential role of high risk male sexual partners such as promiscuous male having previous multiple sexual partners, having history of penile condylomata, and male who had previous spouse with cervical cancer. In addition to the above factor, the other epidemiological observation reveal high incidence of cervical cancer in lower socioeconomic strata, in multiparous women, cigarette smoking women, use of OCPs, HIV infection, and immune compression, which is a low incidence, is noted in virgins and nuns. Second is the virological studies. Human HPV infection is strongly implicated in the etiology of cervical cancer. High risk HPV, most commonly in type 16 and 18, less often type are the 31, 33, 52, 58 in 70 to 80% of cervical cancer. Low risk type HPV is a type 66 and 11, and mixed high and low risk HPV may be found in dysplasias. Molecular study shows the immunohistological, chemical, cytogenetic, and molecular studies have shown that low-risk HPV type do not integrate in the host cell genome, while high-risk HPV are integrated into the nucleus of cervical epithelial cells. Upon integration, protein product of HPV inactivate tumor suppressive genes like P53 and RB1 gene. Immunological studies show that circulating tumor specific antigen and antibodies are detected in patients of cervical cancer. And USG study shows that changes observed on ultrastructural studies of SIN reveal increased mitochondria and free ribosomes and depletion of normally accumulated glycogen in the surface cell. The later changes form the basis of Schiller's test, in which the suspected cervix is painted with solution of iodine and potassium iodide. The cancerous focus, if present, fail to strain because of lack of glycogen in the surface cell. General appearance, no specific picture is associated with cellular atypia found in dysplasia and carcinoma in situ, except squamocolumnar junction and transitional zone. Diagnosis is suspected clinically on basis of Schiller's test done on website. In microscopic examination, distinction between the various grades of SIN is quite subjective, but in general, dysplastic cells are distributed in the layers of squamous epithelium for varying thickness, accordingly grades as mild, moderate, and severe. In carcinoma in C2, the entire thickness from the basement membrane to the surface show dysplastic cells. Invasive cervical cancer. In invasive cervical cancer is about 80% of the cases is epidermoid carcinoma. The incidence of invasive carcinoma in cervix has shown a highlining trend in developed countries in last half of the century due to the increased use of pap smear technique for early detection and diagnosis. Fungating, ulcerating, and infiltrating type is also there. Microscopic examination show epidermoid carcinoma. This type comprises of vast majority of invasive cervical carcinoma. The most common pattern is moderately differentiated. Next in frequency, 25% is well differentiated, and some small cell undifferentiated carcinoma, which is less common, 5% is there, which have poor prognosis. In adenocarcinoma comprises about 20 to 25% of the cases, and others remaining 5% cases are variety of other patterns such as adenosquamous carcinoma, verrucous carcinoma, and undifferentiated carcinoma. Reference. And I hope you enjoyed this session. If any query, mention it in comment box. Thank you so much. Bye bye.